I'm here with Jordan Clark for our pre-match interview before today's league game against Sheerwater. Welcome back, Jordan. I hope you had a good Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and all that.
So today's game, Sheerwater sitting at the bottom of the table at the moment. How people might see that as a three-pointer for Redhill. How do you kind of see that? Do you see it differently as a?
Yeah, well, you see it as a you've got to be honest with it. It's a game that we would like to win, of course, and a game that we would like to think that we're obviously going to be favourites in the game. But football doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. You know, I went and watched the game last night, step 3 game, and it was 3rd versus 18th, and the 18th team beat them 2-0.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, people can have resurgences, new players, and it's on the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm just focusing on the day today. We've got to be the best possible version of us to beat Sheerwater.
Yep.
And if we do that, we'll be happy. So I'm not too concerned about league tables and stuff like that. But yes, of course, this is a game that I'd be targeting to win, as we do all of them. But this is definitely one that you'd think, you know, we'll be strong favourites in.
And then with a team that is down there, like fighting for that, you know, survival aspect and stuff like that, do they get a little bit more? Do you think, like with that?
Well, I feel like anything that you're playing for,
yeah,
you know, when it's not so much at the minute, but when it comes into the time when you're playing for something, whether that be survival, whether that be, you know, playoffs, whether that be promotion, whether that be, you know, it's always more difficult to play those teams than the mid-table teams who've got nothing to play for. Because these will be fighting for their lives. They know that they've got, you know, half the season left to go, and if they want to stay in this division, which I'm sure they will, they need to start picking up results. So they'll be fighting for their lives today, and I've made that clear to the boys that they're going to be giving it their all to achieve their target, which will be to come here and give us an upset. And there are teams that have done that this year. Our away record, we've got. You know, we've not lost away from home.
Yeah.
Our home records, you know, is where we've lost all our games. So we want to correct that, and they'll obviously be looking at that as something that they might be able to hang on to. So we've just got to be really diligent in our work and work really hard and stay true to the game plan that we've put in place, and we'll be just fine.
And regarding today's pitch, the pitch looks really good. To be fair, we've had a lot of rain. Does the pitch play a bit today in terms of do we need to start quick before that pitch starts kind of slowing down and getting heavy?
Yeah, I think all the surfaces, you know, there's loads of variables that you can't control. You know, the referee, the pitch, the weather. You know, you can't control, you know, where players are at physically at the minute because we haven't had a game in so long. So there are variables, but we're just focusing on like little chunks of the game. So the first 15 minutes we've got a plan of how we want to do things, and then we'll see how it goes from there. And the key is like the pitch is in good nick, but there are some soft bits. You know, well done to Nigel and the team for getting the pitch in the condition it is. But yeah, you know, both teams have got to play on it, so we'll hopefully manage it better.
And then on today's squad, the squad is a bit short. We've got a full squad and a very good squad still. I think that shows the great work that you guys have done as a team getting players in. We've got a really good strong squad. But there are quite a few players out, aren't there, out the squad? We're missing quite a few key players.
Yeah, well, every player's a key player if you're in our sort of 21-man squad that we've got. You know, this time of year, the level we're at, you're always going to have a few things. So like Tom and Mao have had pre-booked holidays, you know, and then you've got Tommy Smith, who's unfortunately really ill. There's a lot of that going around at the minute, a lot of flu and that. So he's really, really ill, couldn't get out of bed Thursday and yesterday, so he's struggling, so he's not involved, and I think that's it. For the minute. Yeah. So yeah, obviously 3 players that, you know, you'd like to have involved, but ultimately it gives other people an opportunity. We've got Owen back today. Owen back today from his suspension. He hasn't played since Fleet, so that's a long time. That's a long time. So yeah, it's the squad's in a good place. We had a really good training session on Thursday. We trained on a 3G pitch, had a whole 11-a-side 3G pitch, and it was an excellent session, really excellent session. We had 2.5 hours on it and really worked hard at what we wanted to do. Put a lot of running into the boys in terms of ball contact, because we haven't done a lot. But yeah, we're in a good place, Sam. Like the squad, there's no gripes from me about the squad today. We've got a really good team and a really good squad to be able to compete.
And then regarding, like you just mentioned, December's been very stop-start game-wise with not many fixtures in. There's been a couple of games called off. How have you kept the boys together, motivated? you know, trying to keep them all
Yeah, it's
on
been
top?
tough. Yeah, it's been really tough. Like it's definitely, like I said in my pre-match at Spelford, I think it's something the league have got to look at.
Yeah.
Like I've got to look at it because there's no need for it. I don't feel like there's any need to have that minimal games. Like, we never had a game scheduled on the 23rd anyway because we were supposed to play Jersey, and then they don't travel. Like they won't travel you at that time of the year. But yeah, there was loads of opportunities that we could have played teams. Yeah. We could have played. You know, we had a free weekend and Tooting had a free weekend at one point, and we could have easily scheduled that game. But yeah, it's just I feel like the league. I know it's a volunteer role and it's tough. But yeah, I feel like this is only setting you up for a more difficult period in terms of your organisation when it comes January, February time. Because we've got a lot of games in Jan. We've got obviously a game every Saturday, and then we've got a couple of Tuesdays in there, and we've got the Surrey Senior Cup tie. Yeah. We didn't need that level of load. We didn't need that when you've had so much time this month. So, you know, and I'm one for tradition, Sam. I would love to have played Boxing Day, New Year's Day. You know, I'd have loved to have done all that. I think that's, you know, I think at the level we're at, I think players, you know, should expect that. I feel like that's...
Well, a lot of the other leagues around us do that.
Yeah, a lot of other leagues do, and then obviously the level above do, and I just feel like, you know, if you do those things, everyone's off anyway. Everyone's off. Football is a key part of the people's lives at this level. I feel like, you know, at this level, I feel like that's something that should be done. And you can obviously manipulate the kick-off time so that you can get a better crowd as well, so it helps the club's revenue-wise. So, no, not to bang on, I just feel like December there was no need to have the break we've had when you're going to have, you know, a really busy Jan and Feb, which could have, you know, we'll be pleased with that, to be fair, having a run of games. But it's just I'd rather have, you know, had a bit more this month.
And then not taking this game before we've even kicked off and stuff, but if we win today, with other fixtures being called off, we do go into the top 5. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, not worried. Not worried. Not worried.
At one point, I am going to get you to break.
Yeah, no, not worried at all about that. No, we can just, it is what it is. The table, you know, I've not even looked at it. I refuse to. You know, I obviously the management team say things to me, and other people do, and you know, we're in an okay position. You know, targets we set to be more than 2 points a game, and stuff like that. We're on track to do. We're doing, and we just got to take each game as it comes and try and find that momentum we had at the start of the year when we had that sort of 13 game unbeaten run, including pre-season. You know, when we were. I don't know if everyone say it was pre-season, but like at the time I said, it's just important, and that propelled us into the season where we had an excellent FA Cup run, and so I just want to get going again. And today I think the big message to the boys is let's start a bit of positive momentum today, you know, because now we're going Saturday, you know, Tuesday, Saturday. So let's get a bit of momentum going. Don't pass up that opportunity day one to finish the year really, really well, and what a fantastic year it's been. And just a final thing for me, because I will obviously do the post-match, but fantastic year in terms of my time at the club since I came in March time, February, March time. So, just a big thank you to the fans who have got on board, and from day one what it was like to now what the club have done off the pitch, and what we've tried to do on the pitch and continue to try and do, and what we've seen, the fruits of that labour with a load of young faces, new people coming to the ground. So just a big thank you from me and my team, and let's hope for a really good 2024.
Cool. Cheers, Jordan.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Cheers, mate.